Meghan Markle is out, and this time, it's not the usual tabloid drama, it's far more serious. Fresh reports from US Weekly claim that Prince William and Princess Catherine have completely cut Meghan out of their lives for good. No calls, no texts, not even a polite Christmas card, just absolute silence. And this isn't idle gossip anymore, it feels final. Insiders close to the royals reveal that Prince William is furious, but not in a loud, explosive way. His anger is quiet, controlled, and far more dangerous. William's anger runs cold, calculated, strategic, and final. And this fury isn't aimed at Meghan alone. It's also fueled by Harry's choice to once again drag royal family issues into the public eye. This time, it was during that explosive BBC interview, which insiders say became the last straw. From that moment on, William and Catherine made their decision. No more drama, no more back and forth. Meghan's name is now completely off limits in their world. In fact, palace staff have been given strict instructions. Do not bring her up in front of Catherine, not under any circumstances. This runs far deeper than one interview. It's been a slow burn of pain, betrayal, and emotional exhaustion. Harry's public attacks, Meghan's rumored diva behavior, the tell-all interviews, the bombshell documentaries it has, all piled up and finally pushed the senior royals into a complete shutdown. And at the core of this decision lies something strikingly human: stress. Catherine has been in recovery from serious health struggles, and William is now laser focused on shielding her from any more turmoil. Protecting her peace has become his top priority, even if that means cutting Meghan out entirely. That means no Meghan, period. Even if there's some kind of reconciliation with Harry in the future, which remains a huge question mark, there is absolutely no chance Meghan will ever be welcomed back. One insider put it bluntly: Kate will never see Meghan again, not out of petty spite, but to protect her own mental well-being. And that statement alone reveals just how dire things have become. But here's where it gets even more explosive. This isn't just quiet avoidance anymore. Behind the scenes, William has been turning up the pressure on King Charles, reportedly making it clear he has reached his breaking point. The message isn't just "we're ignoring her," it's something far stronger. It's more than avoidance, it's final. William is said to see himself as the protector of the monarchy now, especially with his father's health reportedly fragile. And with that role comes brutal decisions, and this one is said to be non-negotiable. Royal expert Angela Levin, the very author of Prince Harry's biography, has weighed in on the drama. She explained that the strategy is simple: do not engage at all. No reactions, no fiery counterattacks, just cold, dignified silence. And according to her, that silence cuts deeper for Meghan than any public condemnation ever could. It drains the drama of oxygen, and that, insiders say, is exactly the point. In a way, it feels almost poetic. Meghan, who once famously cut off her own father and others from her life, is now being cut off herself, this time by the most powerful family in Britain. No phone calls, no acknowledgements, not even the sound of her name whispered in palace corridors, just a total freeze out. And it's not only William and Catherine holding that line. Other members of the royal household are said to be following the same path. The overall mood is crystal clear: enough is enough, and people are exhausted. The endless back and forth, the PR games, the pointed interviews, it has all become too much. So what about Harry? Well, that's where it gets complicated. While William and Catherine have slammed the door shut on Meghan, there's still a tiny sliver of leniency left for Harry, a sense of he's still family. But even that fragile opening comes with strict conditions. And the biggest one of all, stop airing the dirty laundry in public. Reports suggest the royals see no way forward until Harry keeps quiet. Meghan, on the other hand, isn't just in hot water, she's effectively frozen out, with what feels like a lifetime ban. And the way it's being carried out quietly, firmly, without any spectacle, might be the harshest blow of all. William's reaction to all of this hasn't just been emotional, it's been cold, strategic, and thoroughly calculated. Those close to William insist he isn't chasing petty revenge or playing media games. His focus is protecting the crown from being turned into a soap opera. And in his eyes, Meghan Markle embodies every threat to that stability. Her unpredictability, the constant headlines, and the way she wields media like a weapon. None of it fits the royal mold, and William's answer has been absolute disengagement. No more second chances, no more leeway. What finally pushed him over the edge, according to insiders, was hearing Meghan's name still being tossed around within palace walls. Even that tiny mention was too much, and it sealed his decision once and for all. So the decision was made firm and final. From this point on, Meghan does not exist in their world, and Kate, already carrying immense stress from her health battles, didn't just go along with it, she insisted on it. Insiders reveal the emotional toll Meghan's involvement has had on her is something the public rarely sees, but it is very real. And the damage hasn't been only emotional, it's reputational as well. Think back to that moment after the Oprah interview when William did something shocking, he snapped at a reporter. Breaking protocol, he fired back at the shouted question, "Is the royal family racist?" With the sharp reply, "We are very much not a racist family." That wasn't just a soundbite, it was a rare glimpse of the pressure boiling over inside the palace. It was a rare glimpse into the bottled-up frustration William had been carrying for months. A prince known for being polished and composed let the mask slip, even if only for a fleeting second. And by all accounts, that outburst was a mistake. The palace had no desire for public rebuttals, and William himself likely regretted giving Harry and Meghan even that small taste of satisfaction. It proved their strategy of controlled silence could be cracked, and that realization left him exposed. From that moment forward, William doubled down with iron discipline. No more public reactions, no more accidental acknowledgments, nothing at all. The wall of silence was rebuilt stronger than ever, and this time, he had no intention of letting it crumble again. And that silence, that deliberate nothing, is exactly what insiders say is driving Meghan to the brink. The irony here is striking. Meghan, who famously cut ties with people she labeled toxic, including her own father, is now being served the same icy treatment by two senior royals. It's as if the royal family borrowed a page straight out of her own playbook. Total cutoff. No emotional closure, no path to resolution, just distance and finality. And it isn't only within palace walls beyond them. More and more bridges linked to Meghan are quietly burning away. Edward Enninful, the former editor of Vogue UK, once bent over backwards to accommodate Meghan during her highly publicized guest edit of the magazine, but now he's no longer on speaking terms with her. What was once billed as a groundbreaking cultural collaboration ended in disaster. Reports from inside Vogue suggest staff were forced to tiptoe around Meghan's endless demands, with whispers that she acted like a full-blown diva behind the scenes. At the time, Enninful tolerated it to keep the relationship intact, but eventually, even he reached his breaking point. And here's the telling part. Meghan's treatment of Enninful doesn't stand alone. Insiders say it mirrors a much larger pattern that has followed her from project to project. She forms relationships quickly, often built on flattery or shared passions like sharing mint tea or aligning on political views. But when those connections don't bend fully to her will, they crumble just as fast. And it has happened time and time again. From former palace staff to celebrity allies to powerful media figures, there's now a growing trail of people who want nothing more to do with her. And make no mistake, this hasn't gone unnoticed inside the palace. Meghan's isolation is no longer just emotional or social, it's becoming something everyone can see. Sources even claim that within Hollywood circles, the once bright glow surrounding her name has already begun to fade. What once made Meghan an aspirational figure marrying into royalty, breaking barriers, and controlling her own narrative has now started to work against her. People have grown wary, her charm offensive no longer lands the way it once did, and many of her former supporters have either gone quiet or walked away completely. Prince Harry, on the other hand, is still balancing on a fragile tightrope. Despite the royal family's deep frustration with him, there lingers a faint sense of hope that he might one day find his way back, but only on strict terms. And those terms are non-negotiable. No more surprise interviews, no more passive-aggressive Netflix deals, and absolutely no more dragging the monarchy through the mud for profit or sympathy. It's a long shot, but some insiders quietly believe it could happen. If Meghan is no longer in the picture, the problem is how deeply Harry has tied himself to Meghan's version of events. From the Oprah bombshell, to their Netflix docuseries, to his tell-all memoir, he has gone all in, no turning back. And that creates the perfect trap. To pull away now would look like a betrayal not just of Meghan, but of everything they've built their public image around. The more he defends her, the deeper he sinks, and the harder it becomes to ever step away. Harry insists his actions are about protecting his family, but inside the palace, many see it very differently. To them, he is a man who once valued duty, now weaponizing his royal title to launch media offensives filled with half-truths and personal grievances. Even when King Charles reportedly funneled millions to quietly support Harry and Meghan's transition out of royal life, Harry still spun a narrative of being abandoned. That glaring contradiction has left many behind the scenes deeply frustrated. And when it comes to Meghan, her own frustration appears to be turning inward. Palace insiders claim she's growing increasingly paranoid about how the public perceives her, and that paranoia is only intensifying as her influence fades. Once confident in her power to control the media cycle, Meghan is now reportedly stunned by the icy silence she's facing. And it's not just from the royals, it's from the very British institutions she once worked hard to charm. The Daily Mail, The Sun, even Vogue outlets that once showered her with glowing coverage are now writing about her with brutal honesty. The shift has been nothing short of jarring. And the irony couldn't be sharper. Meghan built her brand on themes of female empowerment, inclusion, and transparency. Yet her critics insist that behind the polished image, she has shown the very behaviors she claims to stand against: manipulation, elitism, and even emotional coercion. Staff have described unpredictable mood swings, collaborators have walked away, and even Meghan's closest allies are now choosing silence. Take Edward Enninful, once considered her strongest supporter in the British media world. Their fallout was never splashed across the headlines it didn't need to be. The silence alone spoke volumes. According to one Vogue insider, the breakdown had been building for a long time. Enninful had grown exhausted by the endless image management and the behind-the-scenes tantrums that kept resurfacing. This wasn't about one bad day or a single disagreement. It was a repeated pattern that eventually pushed him away for good. For someone as well-connected as Edward Enninful, his decision to distance himself from Meghan spoke louder than words. And it isn't just him, there's been a major shift in public sentiment too. Where Meghan and Harry were once seen as sympathetic figures fighting against an outdated system, many now view them as opportunists who burn nearly every bridge along the way. That narrative shift is critical, especially in the worlds of media and politics. Their value isn't what it once was, and doors that once swung wide open are now barely cracked or shut entirely. But make no mistake, the royal family isn't cheering at their fall from grace. This is no victory lap. If anything, there's an undercurrent of sadness that a once beloved prince and his wife have ended up here, estranged, embattled, and more isolated than ever. But the crown has survived far worse, and it lives by one iron rule: never let personal chaos overshadow the institution.